Hey Dale, it's good to be here with you at Agave. It's now August 7th, is it?
You actually got the date right.
I wish it was August 8th, which would be tomorrow, and then it would be Ocho Ocho.
Ocho.
Yeah.
Ocho. Oh, yeah, well, it's
And
2000,
I'm so pleased to be here with
I
you,
am too. Drinking Ocho Plata.
drinking Ocho Plata
Puertecito.
Puertecito.
I'm Dale DeGroff, a.k.a. King Cocktail, an old friend of Tom's from our London meanderings.
Hanging out,
Hanging
drinking.
out, hangings out at Dick Bradsell bars and your bars, your wonderful, wonderful bars in London, the most wonderful of which is Cafe Pacifico. If you ever go to London and you don't stop at Cafe Pacifico, you've made a massive error.
Thank you so much, Dale. And I'm Tomas Estes, Dale's admirer, follower, student to Dale, friend, devoted friend. I've got a brand called Ocho. What do you got in your glass there?
I have Ocho Blanco,
We've had a few liters of tequila together
including a few this afternoon, as you probably guessed.
this afternoon in London, in tequila country. I really reckon you as a mentor in the whole industry, Gary Regan, Gaz Regan to a large extent, we can show them that getting old is not necessarily a bunch of wrinkles. There's still life after 29.
Yes, there is. Actually, getting old is, for me, the best years of my life. I mean,
And why?
because I was such a when I was young.
You were so busy trying to figure it out.
You know, you relax a little bit, and you relax into your role in life and what you do, and you start to enjoy it. And I enjoyed it then. Don't get me wrong. I came to New York City when I was 19 years old, and I thought I died and gone to heaven. Are you kidding me?
What about tequila, Dale?
When you walk into a joint looking for a good time, you're not going to find it unless you bring some of it with you.
Oh, well
Yeah.
said.
Right in the door. And we did. And it was.
Yep. Yep.
I'll drink to that. The bar life that New York City just typifies so dramatically.
And the
You know,
bartender.
and the bartender.
who's the-
Because we don't go to bars, we go to bartenders.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
absolutely the truth.
Where did it start with tequila with you? Was it in LA?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It was.
thought
It's
so.
an emotional thing for me, and tequila is emotional for everybody the first time around, I think. And it affected me the way it still affects you, and that is, I met this woman who I just, and she pulled out a tall brown bottle. What were we drinking?
Had to be tequila.
Sauza Conmemorativa.
Ah.
Tall brown bottle. Remember?
What year was this?
This was '78, so it was still not even a puro. It was a mixto.
This was
But one of the great mixtos. One of the
the spirit, the drink that John Wayne drank. He said this was the greatest thing for him to drink. It was Sauza Commemorativo, and as you're saying, it was regular tequila.
And it was really only right around the time that tequila was starting to get a large audience. In
Yes.
this country. It
Yep.
hadn't had much of an audience at that point. And so we popped this bottle of Sauza Conmemorativo. It was a 750. And this gal and I sat there with some food and just got to know each other in a leisurely fashion as we drank this bottle, 750, between about, I'd say, 10 o'clock at night and 8:30 the next morning. And I'm telling you, I woke up at around 10 after we slept for a couple hours, and I thought I was just going to have a head and I woke up and I was clear and fresh, no hangover, actually feeling invigorated. And I said, oh my God, I have found the water. And that was my first real experience with tequila.
We've started with tequila before, this, in that case Tapatio.
Right.
We went right through the dinner with it and after dinner.
Yep, and never stopped drinking
number
it.
of times.
There are a couple of spirits or wines in the world that you can do that with. Champagne is one of them, and tequila is the other one, where you could take it from the aperitivo right straight through to the dessert. And it'll work with everything. It's spiritual, emotional, and completely organic and earthy and all those words. It's all that, and in flavor, in aroma, everything about it is connected to the earth. It's connected to the most fundamental things we have in life. Okay. You take that one, I'll open it.
This is Ocho Puertecito, the one that Carlos Camarena says comes in waves, not to throw you out of the boat, but just to rock you very gently.
I've always wanted to hear the real story of what happened, how you discovered Mexico and how you ended up owning Mexican restaurants around the world and now making tequila.
Wow, Dale, I'm going to give you the abbreviated time, but I'm going to tell you where the
Always
longer
be nervous
stories
when
are.
a guy looks at his watch after you ask him to tell a story.
Yep. Started out as one of those, what are they called, baby boomers? The ones after the war.
Yeah, I was
Born in
a baby boomer.
1945.
I was born in
So you're a
48.
kid. You're 48.
Yeah.
And so I was one of this giant gray middle class. Gray meaning identity-less. So very soon, my identity started going towards being a badass, being a delinquent. So as soon as I could, I was going down to Mexico. I was going across the border illegally the other way when all the workers, the mojados, were trying to get across the other way.
Well, you were going illegally across because what? You didn't have a...
Because you were supposed to be 16 or 18. I was 15.
Oh my God, yeah.
And so I had a real attraction to Mexico from beginning. For me, LA was always such a pretend place. It was a place of Disneyland, Universal Studios. It was also woo-woo and fantasy and wannabe. When I got close to the border, I felt real life there. I felt the blood, the sweat of life in the ganglions of the dust that was hanging there, the smoke, everything. And I liked that. That was, to me, my hook to life.
Real life.
Real life. There's a bar down there called Husong's Cantina. Whenever...
Still there?
How many times have you asked, what are your favorite bars in the world? So many times. Husong's is right up there at the top. It never wins in the top because I'm the only...
Hussongs.
Exactly.
And it's still there.
It's still there. It started in Ensenada before there were cars. They used to ride donkeys into the bar and sit on the donkeys while they were in the bar.
Well, there were a lot of ride-in bars where you rode your horses right in.
And so Husong's was, to me, my mecca. I loved to go to Husong's. It was crazy. It was wild. Down the street from Husong's was a place called the Corres Gloria. I'd go in there and we'd drink tequila out of those little skinny bottles, like Ocho, but skinnier, half the size. They're probably quarter of a liter.
Right.
And the proprietor, I'd say to him, what kind of tequila are we going to drink? He said, Orindanoyitas, which is the other one that's always way up there at the top.
Right.
Which, how is that?
So what year are we talking about?
I was 65.
So you're drinking tequilas in 65 that Americans didn't get to drink until the 90s.
Absolutely. Orindanoyita, 100% agave.
Yes.
Reposado.
When they
Now-
just invented Reposado. That was around the time when they invented
It was.
Yeah.
It was. And that hit that market, and we started drinking it. So I was very attracted to tequila. Actually started a Mexican restaurant bar in Amsterdam for the sole purpose of living in Amsterdam.
Here you are, a guy who's sneaking across the border in Mexico.
Oh.
Now we're in Amsterdam, and you start a bar in Amsterdam.
By that time, I'd become a school teacher. I was a high school teacher.
You're a school teacher. I'm sorry.
I'm a school teacher, wrestling coach.
Okay.
I'd competed in wrestling for 6 years.
How could I not know that?
2 years high school, 4 years university. Did another 7 years as a trainer or coach.
All right.
So anyway,
I didn't know this side of you, Tom.
well, there's many sides, Dale. There's many sides.
So how long did that last before you went screaming out of the halls? And
7 years.
Okay.
And in between the 7 years, I went to Europe for the second time.
actually, school teaching is the best occupation for going to Europe because you have the whole damn summer to hang out and run around wherever you want to go.
You know why school teaching was the best thing for me? Is because in those days, I wanted to give back. It would have either been Peace Corps, Vista, Volunteers in Service to America, nursing, Walt Whitman style, or teaching, something like
Walt
that.
Whitman
I
style.
didn't want to join the
What did you want to
system.
give? What had you taken that you wanted to give back?
Love. I'd had an education. I'd had a great upbringing.
Oh, I see what you're
And I wanted to give back to society in one of those ways, and it was teaching.
Well, that was when everybody was thinking those. That was John F. Kennedy, and
It was very
and
much that
Peace Corps
time.
and
Very much that time, Dale.
straight to that.
So, on the second time to Europe, I went to Amsterdam. I thought, man, I can learn so much here. It was, for me, it was, and it probably still is, all about what can I learn? What can I learn from Dale DeGroff? What can I learn from this and that? So I thought, in Amsterdam, I can learn lots and lots about classical European culture, architecture, literature, music. So after having been there, my then wife and son, who was 3 years old.
French 55s. You were
Cut.
trying-
I'm going to finish this story in microwave time.
Microwave time.
We drove from LA to, we were on our way to Panama, but we only got so far as San Jose, Costa Rica. White line fever, 11 long days down, 11 long days back. And I thought, how am I going to support myself? They're not going to hire me as a teacher. They weren't. And I thought, well, okay, I'll do my own job. What would that be? What do they don't have? What is it that is a hole in the market? Mexican restaurant. Okay, I'll do it. So that was the concept. I visited bars and restaurants, took ideas, nothing new under the sun, took from everything, put together my thing, went to Amsterdam and found a place, opened it, and man, it was a giant success. We had celebrities, but not current celebrities. They were like former celebrities, like Flo and Eddie. Remember those cats?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Flo and Eddie would come in. The Birds, after, these were all after. Debbie Harry, Blondie, waited 3 hours at the bar to sit at the table.
So this is number one in Amsterdam. Where was number two?
Number 2, Amsterdam was 76.
Right.
Number 2, London, 82.
Cafe Pacifico.
Cafe Pacifico. Number 3, Paris, 1984.
Right.
Cafe Especial, Cologne, 1986.
Cologne. I don't know about that one.
We ended up having 3 or 4. Well, then we started making bars. Australia came along because of a crazy called Phil Bailey.
Yes. Let's drink to Phil Bailey.
Hey, no, these are 2 Mexican 55s, one with champagne, one with Mexican sparkling, and we don't have the last ingredient.
Well, we're going to taste it first.
Oh,
without.
shall we?
So I tasted tequila for sure.
Okay, good. Oh, there's a beautiful nuttiness.
I wonder what kind of tequila does it taste like? 1,200 brands is kind of hard to.
Nice, huh?
For those of you that cannot get that through the lens, this is packed with allspice. It's packed with clove.
Now,
Oh,
totally changed it.
it has not overpowered any of that champagne nuttiness, that
Just added some
biscuity.
baking spices.
It's added an accent to it
But like a little age. Kind of.
that brings, yes, that strawberry-ish is still there. Gorgeous. What a nose it has on it. For our family that are joining us, this nose, again, biscuity, citrusy.
I think there's only really, as far as I can say, one thing missing here.
Jill. Okay. Now, that's what I said, right? Let's have it be spirit forward.
Now try it.
Now, for 2 men that like spirits, this is the way to drink.
Much better.
Oh, yeah.
So I have a new drink now. Thank you for that.
Mexican
Mexican
55. Dale,
Let's drink to that,
it's
pal.
always a pleasure to be with you. Thank you so much for joining us, family members that we haven't met yet. We will meet. We are all part of the same family. Likely is not. We are all part of the same soul. That's what I want to believe.
I think the cocktailing community is all part of the same soul.
I do
And
too.
we're now part of that.
Yes.
It wasn't invented when we were younger, but now it is. And
It's-
we can join. We're card-carrying members now, I think.
Card-carrying members, you have been...
Gary Reagan invented the name cocktailing, and he's my friend, and so that makes us official member. Here's to our next dinner at Cafe Pacifico.
Here's to formal goodbyes, which mean hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah, that
Dale,
works.
I love you, man. And one.
You too, man.
So thanks very much. All the best to all of you out there.